this is a special interview which I have, I've been asking the Helium 10 team to actually, allow me to have someone from their team and share the expertise or share everything about Helium 10. Uh, just a little bit brief about Helium 10. I think Helium 10 is one of the best tools, or I think the only tool I am aware about, which has all the features. I've been using this tool for tracking basically the bestsellers, which is working right now on Amazon, as well as this tool has been responsible for actually giving me a seven-figure product during COVID. So I think this is going to be a great session by Bradley himself, and he's going to share everything about Helium 10. So over to you, bro.
Yeah. So, my name is Bradley. I'm the director of training at Helium 10. And, I actually started as a user of Helium 10, about 5 years ago. Before I was working here, I was a consultant for Amazon sellers, and I needed a suite of tools that, could help with my, keyword research and listing optimization. And that was what I started using. And then I started working here, and then, we've grown significantly since then. As you said, like we're, the biggest company in the space. We have, like for our Chrome extension, we have almost 1 million active users for it. And we're used by people who sell in different kinds of Amazon selling models, like not just Amazon USA, but, we work in Amazon Europe, Amazon India, Amazon Australia, all over the world. But then people, even though mainly the ones who use us are private label sellers, we've also have, some wholesale and arbitrage sellers who use this as well, because a lot of things, kind of go, as you mentioned, both ways. So, our main functionality is for product research. We have a lot of listing optimization. Keyword research is what we're also known for. And then we have a lot of also analytical tools, operations tools, like managing your reimbursements from Amazon and managing your profits. And then we also have marketing tools such as for PPC. So, obviously we can't go over everything today, but, I'll let you tell me what you want me to show to the audience first, so that they can get an idea of what it's about.
Amazing. Because I've personally used Helium 10 for product research, because actually it gives me the real-time data. Okay, what's working right now, and actually gives me confidence to go inside the market. I can predict, okay, this is a season of like maybe fishing products. This is for outdoors. So I can actually predict that. So I think let's go inside Helium 10 and see how we can figure out the product research part, finding out bestsellers, these kind of stuff, because this is something which my audience loves the most.
Okay. So for like private, like finding a good selling private label potential product.
Yeah, exactly. Let's suppose we are doing for like Valentine's Day is coming on. So let's go inside that and see what's hot or what's getting into that.
Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen here. And then what I like to do when when I do these kind of demos is I like to actually, even when looking for products, I like to look for keywords, right? And I'll explain how I do that. So I go into Blackbox. Now, Blackbox on the product side has over 2 billion products in the database from all the different marketplaces. But I skip to the keywords page. And the reason is that's where the demand is. People don't search for actual products. I can find products here, but people are searching for keywords because they're looking for products that fit a need. And so I like to look for what are customers searching for. So the indicator of if something is in demand on Amazon is how many times it's being searched for a month. So what I'll do is I'll usually put something, let's just say between 2,000 and 8,000. There's no magic number. I can go way higher. I can go way lower. And then what I like to do is I'll put a minimum of 2 words. That basically means, hey, I want to find a keyword that's not one word, like bathroom or kitchen or shelf. Like I don't think many people buy a lot of products if they're just using one word keywords. They're probably just looking for browsing, right? So I'll just put a minimum 2. And then I like to skip to these advanced filters. But before there, I'm going to pick a few categories here. Let's just pick home and kitchen, maybe kitchen and dining, patio. Yeah, that should be good. We might have to widen this out. Like if I've made this too narrow. As a matter of fact, put that to 10,000. What I like to see is I like to focus on the top 10 products that show up on a page. Now, this is crazy. Like no other tool can do this, but when I put here $5,000 and minimum 4, what I'm saying is that, hey, whatever keyword you're going to find, at least 4 out of the first 10 products on the page are generating at least $5,000 of revenue. All right. So that's crazy that we can even do something like that, but that's what we're doing. Now, one thing that's important when we're talking about private label is that you don't want to be competing with a bunch of people that have tens of thousands of reviews, because, unlike, the wholesale model or drop shipping model, reviews kind of don't care. Like you want products that are have a lot of visitors, because you're just sharing the buy box with people. And private label, it's different because people don't know your brand. This is not Nike. This is not Reebok. They need a reason to click on your product, and there's going to be no reason to click on your product if all of the competition, they all have hundreds or thousands of reviews and you've got 0 because you're new, right? So I like to look for pages where at least a few of the products on the top of the page, the top 10, maybe they don't have that many reviews. So when I say minimum, or let me see, I'm going to say minimum 6. I'm saying that, hey, I want 6 out of the first 10 products to have less than 150 reviews, because then that kind of could be an indication that this keyword is newer on here. So we've got tons of products here that they came up. I thought I made it too narrow, but it's actually pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more cool thing, and that's the title density. I'm going to put a max 5. Let me just lower this search volume just a little bit. Now, what title density means is that if I were to look at all of page 1, how many listings have this exact search keyword in the title? Now, what this is an indication, not necessarily of opportunity, but it's an indication that it's not going to be that expensive to get to page 1. Because if I can find a keyword that has a title density of like 1 or 2 or 3, that basically means that only 1 or 2 or 3 listings in all of page 1 have that exact keyword in the title. Now, if that's the case, it's going to be super easy if I have that keyword in the title to get to page 1. Now, if I find something that has title density of like, 40 or 50, that means almost every listing on page 1 has that same keyword in the title, and then it's going to be that much harder. So let's just take a look here at some of these keywords that have come up. Rattan bookshelf, I'll take a look at that one. Let's see, clear pots, brass candlestick holders, interesting. Alien decor, that's interesting. People interested in that kind of stuff. Kimchi container. Oh, that's a good one. I might even do that one. I love Korean stuff. Let's skip to like page 8, 7 or 8 here. Let's see what else we have here. It's very interesting too. A lot of, something, regardless of what country we're in, it's important to understand that people who are shopping in America, they actually use a lot of Spanish words too. So this is what we call Spanglish. It's an English word with Spanish. So sofas para sala. That means sofas for the living room is what that means. But Helium 10, even though I'm reading this in English, it's picking it up the Spanish keywords that have search volume. Marble bowl, interesting. Dumpling wrappers. I'll take a look at that. I mean, that would seem like it's supposed to be food.
Right.
Maybe one more we can find here. Let's skip to page 10. Legging organizer for closet. Another great keyword. All right. So now let's just take a look at some of these. All right. So we have here rattan bookshelf. Now, this is searched for, you know, I think we had said at least over 2,000 times. And as you can see here, from the beginning, look at this. This is crazy. Like the 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the first 5 products that come up, they don't even have 150 reviews. 2 of them actually have 0 reviews. All right. So this is like, if you were just to sit there and search on Amazon for a keyword that had products like this at the top that was searched for 1,000 times, it would take you forever to find it. But we were able to find one right away. So this is one interesting product. Kimchi container. Okay, so I like this too, because this is obviously something that's, you know, kind of geared towards like the, you know, Korean market, but Korean things are getting more and more popular in America, and so people who want to get into this kind of culture, they would be interested. In this. And again, we see kind of low reviews towards the top of the page. I see a lot of the sellers are actually based in Korea. All right. So that's another thing that we show, like, hey, whoever's selling this product, where are they based? And so you can see the flag here means where the seller's account is based.
This Korea. The first 3 Korea.
Yeah. And just another interesting thing is when you get into these newer keywords, what's going to happen is you're going to see sometimes irrelevant products start showing up. And I wouldn't just ignore these, but what I would like right here, this is not necessarily a kimchi container, but this is probably a fermentation, a salt container. Yeah. So this is already like a different, now, like this isn't what I searched for, but this is what's fun about doing product research is you start somewhere and then you end up somewhere else. So like if I was wondering, you know, is this selling very much? Well, probably not. It's only selling like 7 units, but I might want to take a look at this and wonder what are the keywords that are driving the sales here. Okay. So I see what this is. This is not just the wrappers, but actually something to make the dumpling wrappers that people eat. All right. So, you know, this could be another interesting product because it's on the same page as like some of these grocery items. So maybe somebody is searching for dumpling wrappers just to buy it. And then they happen to see a product and they're like, oh, wait a minute. You mean I can make this myself? You know, this is so rare, guys. There's so much demand for this product that look at this. This is the very top of the page, right? The very top of the page. And this is a product that only has 2.5 stars. Like that is like nobody buys 2.5 star product. But the fact that this is selling so well means that people are like, hey, I have to buy this product even though nobody likes it because maybe there's no other option. You know, so there's another option. And here's another one, legging organizer, another newish.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So there's another guy just on like who is selling for $7.99 and who has like a lot more views, right?
Yes.
For the dumpling one. And after that, there's the 7 reviews guy. So that means there's a big demand or like which is underserved right now. Maybe that's the reason. This is what you're saying? Could
be. I mean, this is a little bit different one. And he's like, it's actually interesting. He's putting more keywords in there. Like the other guy was specialized. It says dumpling only, I think, in the title. Look at this. He is advertising to his empanada. That's like a Latin dish. He's advertising to ravioli. So he's advertising to different foods. I'd be curious about how long he has had this price. That's another thing you can do with Helium 10. So I check here and I could see the history. He's had it for kind of like $8 for a long time. Last year was $9. He had it at $10 at a time. So this has been like one of those cheap products. This guy can't be making much money there. It's kind of crazy to be selling a product for this this cheap, but yeah, he's selling about 20 units a day, as you can see from here. So he's doing okay, but maybe he can't be making too much profit.
So it's like maybe he's owning a lot of these small products, or maybe he's from China or like similar.
Could be. One thing that would be interesting is, maybe we say like, oh, I might not be able to compete with this guy because he's so cheap, but what are the keywords, the other keywords where he might be making some sales from? And so on this same page, I can click on this product, X-ray keywords, and then I could see other keywords that he might be ranking highly for. So let me actually just restore default settings. All right, here we go. All right, so dumpling, aha, you see, these are different keywords. Dumpling press, dumpling maker press. Yeah. Empanada maker. So if I were to hit dumpling press, now all of a sudden I see even more of these products. And then you could see people are trying to make some like that one that only had 8 reviews, but these are brand new ones. These have 0 reviews. Right. So there's the one that we had originally saw before, the one that had only 2.5 stars with 8 reviews. Right. Here's one that's 4 reviews. So like this is kind of like a red flag that, hey, something wrong the way that these people are doing it. People don't like it. But I would try and see if I can figure out what is wrong and can I fix it? There's obviously demand here. How can I fix what people are complaining about? So this is just like the tip of the iceberg, but we just use one tool kind of to search, and we found like 4 different potential product opportunities in just a few minutes. And there's probably like 10 different ways that you could search for. So basically this is dumpling, the dumpling product is definitely in demand and which is currently underserved. And at the same time, the people who are actually selling it, they have some issues because that's the reason they are getting bad reviews. So if we just fix the product or whatever is missing and bring the product, the right product with the right keywords, we'll have something which will work for us, right? Yeah. And then all of these different sellers, their keyword strategy is probably not all identical. So, but the beauty about Helium 10 is I can examine each of their keyword strategies and see what each of them are doing right and what they're doing wrong, and then take the best out of each one and kind of put it all into one to hopefully have the best optimized listing. Got it. Maybe there's like more profitably can we bring we can bring more profits by maybe optimizing for a different keyword, which these guys are missing out, right? Sure, absolutely. Because not only can we see what are the other competitors doing well for, but where the demand is. Maybe there's demand for a keyword that we find that nobody's doing well for, but we can find those too also with Helium 10. Okay, I want to ask a question. Like it's just general Amazon question, because what I've seen is a lot of people complain about this is like Amazon is like race to the bottom. It's like always about like people can come up with a better pricing, better factory pricing, or he has more money. How someone can actually win in that race? Like the way you can, there's many markets or many niches where it's saturated now. That's true, but every time something gets saturated, 3 more new ones come up. Like a year ago, I guarantee, not even a year ago, 6 months ago, I guarantee this dumpling maker niche didn't even exist, because you saw that most of these products, they had like 0 reviews. So like this is, pretty new. What was the other one? There was a legging organizer, almost all new reviews. Maybe a year ago, this didn't exist. So something that gets saturated, I always use the example like collagen peptides or something that it's completely full. Of course, don't try and sell there. There's no room. But that's why you look for these ones that are coming up, because always new trends and new things get invented and new ideas that people have. And so there's always going to be something that you can sell on Amazon. And obviously we can use Helium 10 to figure out, okay, what are those keywords which are emerging right now, right? Exactly. Interesting. Okay, if I want to go inside, let's suppose, can I see which are the keywords which are picking up right now for Valentine's Day? Can I do that? Yeah, so we have about a couple minutes left here, so I can maybe show that. But if I want to see which keywords like have Valentine's in it, for example, and I would go into the same tool, I would clear all of the filters, and then I would say, let's say include Valentine's.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's just see, look for stuff that's at least searched 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then let's see what comes up here, and no matter what category. All right. So it's a lot of ones coming up here. So I'm actually going to say, let's go 2,000 and above
Mm-hmm.
and hit search. And then I'm going to sort by search volume. And then here we go. So what we can see here, any keyword that has Valentine's in it, what is getting searched for? Well, like we can already see that Valentine's Day gifts for him is already searched for towards the current velocity at 900,000 times for 30-day velocity. Valentine's Day gifts for her, Valentine's Day cards for kids' school. And then you could tell that these are very seasonal. So I can click on this search volume history, and then you can see, look at this. It is like, for the most part, nothing, almost no searches. And then now it's just kind of like skyrocketing here. So that's what you're going to see for most of these keywords, even though for the longest time, there's not much searches. It is definitely spiking the last 2 weeks, and Helium 10 is already picking up on it, even though it's not Valentine's Day yet.
Interesting. So basically, we can even see the seasonal data from last year.
Yeah, I mean, for 2 years, even our data goes back more than 2 years for the search volume data. So you'll see a very similar spike. Like last year, it'll probably spike around February, and then again February. And then it's important even on the keywords you aren't sure if it's seasonal or not, because you never know what is seasonal. Like maybe you don't think it's seasonal, like Valentine's Day, kind of everybody knows, but maybe there's something that you don't realize is like a summer product. You just thought it's trending, and then you put all your money into it in August, and then by the time your product gets there, it's dead sales for like 8 months because you didn't look at that seasonality. So that's another thing that's important to look at.
Okay. So what you say, like if someone is who is like maybe getting into this Amazon business and who comes from drop shipping, like from the drop shipping world, what would you recommend to them? Like how to go about that using Helium 10? If he has Helium 10 and he want to get into Amazon, what are going to be the top 3 steps or top 5 steps he should do?
Well, the first important thing is not just to jump in without knowing what you're doing. And so that's why our focus here is not just to have, the tools, but also to have the education. So we have a full course that any Helium 10 member has full access to. It's called Freedom Ticket. And it's like probably about 60 hours worth of training about the private label model, and even selling on Walmart and things like that. So important is, hey, I just saw Bradley do this video. Let me just copy his filters and let me find a product, and then I'm good to go. No, you shouldn't do that. You should first, once you start with Helium 10, take our Freedom Ticket course to understand how private label works. Once you have that knowledge, then that is the next step, is start to get into product research. If you've got some money saved up, you don't need like $10,000 or some huge amount of money. I did a case study once where I launched 12 different products for a total of only $5,000. So obviously I could have done even less if it was just 1 or 2. Now, of course, my profit is not going to be very high there, but that was just to prove that you don't need, tons and tons of money to get started in private label. But yeah, it's that process that we went through today would be step 1, is just looking for the opportunity. And then you got to validate it with the data, and then, start looking for suppliers, and then make your first order, and then, you're off to the races.
Perfect. So basically, whosoever signs up on Helium 10 gets the free training, right?
Yes. Any Helium 10 plan comes with that Freedom Ticket training. Okay.
Even the free plan?
Any Helium 10 paid plan.
Comes so basically starts at $39.
Yeah, we even have like a starter plan that's a little bit less. That includes the training as well.
Amazing. So definitely I'm going to add that link to the description so that people can actually check it out. Sure. And I'm going to be using Helium 10 to figure out trends and product research and figuring out this stuff. I think this is going to be really, really helpful.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think I need to let you go now because I think you
Yep.
have some other call, right?
Yeah, I got another meeting to go to right now, but thank you for inviting me, and I wish your audience the best of success on
Thank you
Amazon.
so
You
much,
too.
Matt. And we'll definitely connect once again. And if anyone has any questions, any queries, just let me know in the comments below. And if needed, we will try to get Bradley back to answer your questions. I think that sounds good.
Awesome. All right.
Perfect. Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much. We'll see you later. Bye.